Hey, Wildwood. So I have the privilege of being able to share with you actually one of my favorite verses, and it's in Philippians 4:6. And I'm going to go ahead and read that off. It says, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, through prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God." It's funny because it makes me think about nighttime in our house where dinner time comes around. So dinner time's kind of crazy in my house. I don't know about yours, but we have 3 kids. And so my poor wife is trying to accommodate 4 different appetites and 4 different menu items. She typically is hearing a TV in the background and homework's still getting done. And when we finally sit down and we eat, it's a cool time and a great conversation. But my kids have found this way, and it has become a habit where before their food is completely done, they're already asking for a second helping or a third helping. I mean, it hasn't even gone down their throat yet, and they're still asking for more. And many times I have to just remind them, hey, let's just be thankful first before we ask anything else. And I really believe that's God's heart as well. You know, in that whole verse there, it talks about let your requests be made known to God. And it has to do actually with this feeling of being anxious or worrisome. He's saying, look, I want you to talk to me. I want to hear from you. And if that doesn't encourage you, I don't know what will. That the God who created heaven and earth wants to hear from us. He wants to have a conversation with us. He wants to hear our requests. But I love how the writer here reminds us to do it with a heart of thankfulness. You know, it's one of those things where I find myself even saying this recurring prayer, and I want to encourage you to have the same prayer, where I just close my eyes and I stop and I say, Lord, before I ask you for anything today, I want to say thank you. Thank you for breath and for life. Even right now, that breath that I just took right now, that's because God let me do that. He allowed that breath to happen. He allowed me to wake up this morning. He gave me a warm bed. He gave me a beautiful home with a beautiful wife and great, amazing kids. And maybe for you, that life looks a little different. Maybe he gave you that career that you always wanted, or maybe you're in a career now and you're not too happy with it, but you're thinking, you know what? At least I have a job right now in a time where many people don't. And I find myself just being thankful. And when I have that heart of thankfulness, many times I even forget what the request that I was going to ask God was for altogether, because my heart is just so full of thankfulness. And so, Wildwood, I want to encourage you. Take your requests to God, especially in this time where fear and doubt are just cast on us. Don't be anxious for anything, but in everything, take your requests to God and request things from Him. But before you do it, make sure it's with a heart of thankfulness. And Wildwood, when you do that, you're going to find that the peace of God that surpasses all understanding is going to guard your heart and your mind through Christ Jesus. Wildwood, I love you guys, and continue to pray and seek the God who loves you.